Namaste. I'm with Sri Sena Atto from Ghana, who is the head of the Hindu delegation at the World Hindu Congress in Chicago. And with him is Lakshmi, who's also a Hindu delegate. Now, many of you might not think that there's any Hinduism in Africa or Ghana, but there is, and we will hear about it now. So tell us a little bit about your organization.
Hinduism started in Ghana 1975. That is the year that a black African monk was initiated, a Swami. And after he came in, he started teaching Hinduism. He met the Swami who came to initiate him, His Holiness Swami Krishnananda Saraswati. When Sri Krishna came to Ghana visiting some Indian traders, Indian businessmen, and he was told there's someone trying to practice something, which is Hinduism. So he visited him, and by then, the one practicing it was called SL Guide. SL Guide. And after staying with him for a while, he noticed that what he was doing was all Hinduism. And so he decided that he was going to initiate him into Hinduism. And he was the first black African monk to be initiated into Hinduism. He was already teaching us something, and so he continued with the teaching. And after about 40 years, we have 5 temples built in Ghana, in the southern part of Ghana. They are, before he's going to Mahasamadhi, he had initiated Swami Satyanandaji.
Tell us also about the organization. Is it few people, lots of people? Is it expanding? What do the other religions think of you? Is there prejudice? What does the government think of you? So those are the things that people around the world would like to know.
Okay, great. I am in politics in Ghana, and my party is now the major opposition party in Ghana. So I was appointed as a deputy minister for communication. And I recall that when I was going for vetting, which is a public process when you are being appointed, when you're appointed into such a position, there were concerns from even some members of my political party not to announce to the entire Ghanaian community or society that I'm a member of the Hindu monarchy of Africa, and that because Ghana is predominantly a Christian community. And so that was a bit of a challenge, and but I refused, and I mentioned that I was a member of the Hindu monarchy of Africa. And I realized that my coming out publicly and also being in politics and telling and informing about my religious affiliation with the monastery usually would attract some kind of ignorant comment, unfortunately.
That's a polite way of saying prejudice.
Prejudice. Yes. Because you would realize that the religion is not very indigenous to the Ghanaian religion. However, because Christianity and Islam is much more accepted.
So what percent of the people are Christian and what percent are Muslim?
Per the last population census, we have about 75% being Christians, and of course about almost over 10% being Muslims.
And the rest?
And the rest would look at minority religions like Hinduism and the African religion.
And native African religion.
Yes.
But see, does Hinduism have relationship with the native African religion? Because there are also some similarities.
No, there are a lot of similarities, but unfortunately, that is not the case. Why? Because even the native Ghanaian ideas or of God, traditional outlook of God, has been taught a lot adulterated, because more families have become Christians or Muslim, and so you would every community historically and traditionally should have some gods and all that, but all that has been undermined by the especially the Christian religion, and so it is not very popular, and also Hinduism is seen by the majority Christian to be
some old pagan thing.
Yeah, old
kind of.
pagan thing, reinforcing the traditional
Right.
Ghanaian or African conception of God. So there is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So you guys are brave. You have to be courageous.
We are quite we are lonely in the land of majority people thinking that we belong to a religion that we don't go to heaven. They say we go to hell.
Yeah. So this is remarkable, and I want our viewers to know that this is quite remarkable because there are a minority, a very, very tiny, not even 1%, very, very tiny minority.
Probably less than 1%. We are about 2,000 families.
2,000 families.
Worshiping as Hindus.
2,000 families in how many million is the population of Ghana?
About 30 million now.
30 million.
Projection, yeah.
So, it's a very trivial drop in the ocean kind of a thing. And they're very courageous people, and here they are in the World Hindu Congress, and we're very happy. We celebrate your coming here and being part of this whole family. And hope that you'll keep coming in the future, and maybe we'll spread this into other African countries, and then we will have one day a World Hindu Congress in Africa. That'll be wonderful.
So.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here and also hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified. To donate, please click this button.